Okay, it is 6:01 on August 21st, 2025. This is the regular meeting of the Town of Monroe Board of Finance. This meeting may be accessed by the public either in person or electronically in real time. If you are attending remotely, please remember to mute your microphone unless you're speaking. If anyone participating remotely should state their name and title at the outset of each occasion that such person is speaking. All votes taken during which any member of this body is participating remotely shall be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. The chat features will not be utilized or considered during this meeting. Roll call, Catherine Stoffer, I'm present. Rebecca O'Donnell.
Here.
Mark O'Donnell.
Here.
Samantha Spino.
Here.
Nick Sentimentus. That's his phone.
So what do you have to hit *6 to unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, we can move on. All right.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yep, Steve,
Hello?
sorry. You're present.
Steve Kirk is present.
Okay, Steve Kirk is present, Nick is present, and Deb Heim.
Present.
All right, Ron
I'm
Banowski.
present.
Okay, and I forgot your name. I'm sorry.
Bill Phillips.
Bill Phillips is present. It's a lot of pressure. Okay, all right, so first item, I will make a motion to add an item to the agenda as new business item C, Public Works Road Update.
Steve Kirsch, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, we have to do a roll call.
No, not if
No,
it's
not if it's unanimous.
It's unanimous.
Okay, all right. So moving forward, review of the minutes.
Steve Kirsch, I move to accept the minutes of the Board of Finance meeting of July 17th, 2025.
O'Donnell, second. O'Donnell.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion passes unanimous. Next item is the fiscal year 2025 general fund budget report, municipal and Board of Education.
Okay, so in your packet first, I wanted to spend the majority, if not all the time, on the fiscal year 25, where it looks like we're gonna end up. These numbers aren't final, but they're really close.
That was going to be my first.
Okay,
Just call out the pages.
Sure, so this is page 15 of the town. It's the last page of the town year-to-date budget report for fiscal year 25. And that shows an overall surplus of $1.2 million. It shows a revenue deficit of 800,000, and it shows an expenditure surplus of 2 million, and the net down to 1.2 million. The revenue deficit is driven by the fact that we had appropriated fund balance, and we're not going to need to use it at all. But so it's showing that we're under on the revenue side because we're not appropriating the fund balance that we could have. That makes sense.
Mhm.
So
all of our calculations going forward on fund balance, we have more now than we expected for the
yes,
year we're now fiscally.
correct. Okay. Of that, jumping to the Board of Ed, the Board of Ed surplus is actually in the packet, it says 215. That number is actually a little less now because we received a transportation invoice for fiscal year 25 very late. They said we should have received it in the mail. We didn't. It was unencumbered, and it was so the number's about 206,000, the net surplus on the Board of Ed right now.
So that is a bit higher Then you were talking about last month, I think we were in the.
It probably is, and-
136 or
Mhm.
Yeah.
something like that.
And there are still 300,000 of encumbrances that need to liquidate, so that number still could change. I
So
don't,
that's POs being closed out and
that's POs being
everything.
closed, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So Ron, that invoice that came in late, is that within contract terms?
Yeah, it was an invoice for a special ed student that
Okay.
had been placed in March, and the invoice was from March to the end of the year. We didn't receive the invoice. It was reviewed by the special, by Jen Parcells, and the invoice is correct.
When did they send it? March? And we didn't get it? Why are they not inquiring sooner?
They originally said they sent it to us in May,
Okay,
which is when it was due.
okay. And they didn't inquire sooner?
They
It's
didn't
August.
inquire, we inquired at year end to make sure we had everything. They said yes. The problem was they thought we had it. Weren't aware of it. The funds were unencumbered. We have addressed it internally to make sure in a situation like that even if they don't know the exact amount, they at least get a blanket purchase order in,
Mhm.
which they're actually usually pretty
Exactly.
good with.
So how does that work then on June 30th if it wasn't encumbered?
Well, it's
For services received.
it's for services, yeah, we'll
Okay,
we're gonna, we're gonna pick it up in 25, because that's the year it related to.
okay.
Is there, sorry, Rebecca.
I'm all set. Go ahead.
Okay. Is there a process for like what the cost is for one student for transportation?
It depends on, if for special ed students, they could be outplaced, depends on where the facility is.
Okay. Do we have a contract with a company that transports them?
We do, but it's on a, student by student basis. So this student might be outplaced for, I don't know, in this case, it was through the end of the year, and it's probably gonna continue into this year. But if somebody gets pulled back, once the services stop,
Okay,
then this, we
Okay.
wouldn't be billed for, if the
If it didn't take place.
transportation was no longer needed, yeah.
okay, that's because it's a lot of money for March through June,
Mhm.
so. All right,
So. And then the only other financial reports are year to date for fiscal year 26, which is really not a lot to talk about at this
Mhm.
point. I don't know if I'll entertain questions if anyone has anything. So that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has any further questions.
Ended much better than I thought we might.
Mhm. How much in the way of POs do you have to close? Between both?
Between both, if you go back to page 15.
Oh, encumbered.
Yeah,
423.
423.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So when do you think everything's gonna be closed?
So.
What's your schedule to have on either or both sides to have everything wrapped up?
On the board side, stuff could run out another 4 to 6 weeks, depending on, if it was stuff ordered and if it just back ordered, it was ordered, but the PO was put in and ordered at the end of June, but it's, say there's an 8-week delay in getting it, or 10-week delay, depending on what it was. We try to, 60 to 90 days, we try to have everything closed within that period of time.
Now, I know the Board of Ed meeting on Monday was canceled. So I'm assuming there's been no action taken at all on what they might want to request relative to the money that's coming back.
No, but I think my understanding is they'll probably be requesting to use it first to pick off some capital items.
I would like a report then of what's been done from last year. Because I think it was about 600,000 that we allocated for capital last year. And they had a whole list of projects that were to be done.
Yeah.
With those funds.
So actually, that would tie back, Ron, if you remember, during the budget cycle, there was a chart I had put together, then you took it, and it talked about the amount that the board had returned for each of the last few years, and how much of that was then reused.
It was a colored chart.
And what?
It was a colored.
It
chart.
was a colored chart.
Remember that.
And you obviously didn't have the current year in there, and you said we can get the remaining numbers. You were gonna go back and look. You had picked, there was one year, I think you didn't.
I'll
put
tell
it
you
in,
what,
like-
Steve, I'm actually not recalling this, but you guys
Okay.
are. If you could send me an email with that spreadsheet,
Sure,
is that, can
yeah,
I ask you? Yeah.
sure.
Was it the red, green and
It was-
yellow?
Yeah.
Well, the red.
No, not,
No, it was
no,
not.
no, not the one that.
The
had cuts and
1.8.
Stuff.
Yeah,
This was one that tracked what their budget was, what they spent, what they returned to the town, and then we added a row as to what they then, how much of it was then reused.
Mhm.
And I think we were missing like a number that was maybe what was returned in a year. I don't remember.
yeah,
But
I'll have to check my binder because I have all those, I put all those notes in the binder.
yeah, I've got it. I'll just make a note. Board of Ed return.
yeah, if you could just scan and shoot me an email and I'll,
Yeah, because the most recent spreadsheet is actually from you, but yeah, I'll send you.
So we're looking at the possibility of like a $2 million surplus.
on the expenditure side, but
If everything is, spent already and everything just needs to be
Yeah,
closed out.
so, but netting the revenue deficit and the expenditure surplus, I would look at it as a $1.2 million
Mm.
surplus.
I see. So don't include that 800.
I would be hesitant to, let's say hypothetically, the town is gonna request some budget, some transfers for capital projects and the board also. I wouldn't go above that 1.2.
So the 800,000 is the general fund transfers of 414. Where would we find
You're on page 15, right?
yeah,
Yeah, where are you?
I'm on page 15 of the town.
So the general fund transfers out, a lot of those are,
Oh, I see what you're.
those are,
The negative 414,547.
yeah, so those, that is the FEMA funds that we received.
And we
Were reported as miscellaneous revenue in the general fund, and then you guys transferred them out.
We did that last month.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are the FEMA funds. So that was unbudgeted,
Revenue.
revenue from the, reimbursement from the grants.
Yeah. We also had this expense.
We had
We had the
expenditures,
expense of the
yes.
storm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bill and I spent some time on
Okay, so
that.
the 414 is the thing.
Sounds fun.
Last month. Okay.
So did we use any of the 2.5 million?
So,
Now I'm on page 1.
yeah, so right now, no.
Okay.
Which again, looking forward to the current year, we do have money budgeted to use this year. And again, way too early to know whether or not we're gonna need it, but, to Steve's point earlier, that's, if we get out of last year without needing to use any fund balance, that's a good thing.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One of these years, we're not gonna be so lucky.
I know.
This is zoning?
No, this is Board of Finance. I think zoning's down the end of the hall. You could actually keep that door open, because,
Okay,
yeah, thank you.
so much.
Sorry, Ron, I closed it.
No, it's, because it is a public meeting, so we could put the sign on it, it's all right.
It's okay.
It's not bad.
All right. Any other questions?
Nope.
Hearing none. All right, we'll move on to the next item, the FY 26 year-to-date general fund budget report.
Yeah, I kind of worked that in. There's
Yeah.
no, there's not a lot going on at this point, but if anyone has any questions, I can certainly answer them.
Yeah, how do you think we'll end up at the end of the year?
Yeah.
We need a solid answer right now. All right,
No.
nothing there.
No
Monthly
question.
report of the treasurer. We received an email from Frank, which I will read. Once I find it, here it is. Okay. So as I previously notified you, I will be away for the August Board of Finance meeting. Below is the treasurer's report for the meeting. The state of Connecticut stiff rate has remained in a narrow range as of August 15th, 2025. It is 4.4%, which is above our fiscal year 26 interest income revenue model. July interest income revenue was $205,905. There is a high probability the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates at their September meeting. Stay tuned. We rolled over $1 million in UST bills in August. I anticipate rolling over roughly $2 million in UST bills in September. Regards, Frank.
The stiff rate as of 8/20, which is 4.39, so that's relatively unchanged.
Mhm.
So it's right there.
Mhm.
I would like to make a motion to incorporate this email into the minutes of the meeting.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Monthly report of the tax collector. Deb, how was July?
July was looking about the same as last year. Actually, it was one of the simplest collections we've had in years. Actually, no people were in line or anything, which was amazing. The numbers are very comparable to last year. And I don't see anything unusual this year. I mean, everything seems to be flowing in greatly. Unless somebody has a question, everything seems to be right on target.
Beautiful.
And contrary to what me and Justin thought with the revow this year, it was a very quiet July.
I had to say that.
Knock on wood, Deb, knock on wood.
Yes, I know.
Mhm.
The escrow announcements are just going out. We do had an uptake on people calling, but
Yeah,
nothing outrageous. It was just explaining what happened. So
right.
that's it.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
thank you.
there are a lot of questions out there, people, and,
The new values don't really have an effect until you see the tax bill, what the tax looks like, and we can
and,
explain it until we're blue in the face, but.
yeah, and once you see it, and then, people are questioning, why is mine so much different than the other person? Well, the root cause is on an individual level, what happened to your house? What happened to your property?
Or the market
Or the
of that
market.
property type.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
My house was probably one of the hardest hit, I'm sure.
No, mine was.
Was yours over 20?
The
Mine-
condos were hit pretty hard.
Mine was like 20 over 22. It was
Okay.
crazy.
Mine was 18.6.
Yeah. It was
Mine-
crazy.
Mine was like 35.
Yeah.
35% up?
Yup. Yeah, my
Yeah.
house was my house was in foreclosure in 2019, so that's why. But yeah.
Oh,
And some of these properties are selling. We just had
I don't feel
3
so bad
sales
now.
over a
mhm.
million dollars
Yeah, knock on wood
in the
again,
last
the
couple
market is
weeks.
keeping up with it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yep.
the good news is if you want to sell it and you can get what it,
Mhm.
you know, was valued at,
Mhm.
then
I mean,
makes you feel better, but if you're not interested in moving or selling right now, doesn't do you any good.
Mhm. All righty, well, thank you, Deb.
oh, you're welcome.
Anybody else have anything for Deb? Okay, you have a
No.
good night. Now we will move on to public participation. No members of the public present? Nobody is online. Okay. We'll move on to new business. New business item A, resolution for first selectman to transfer available funds from HR wage adjustment for fiscal year 2026.
And Vice Chair, I will offer the following resolution. Resolved that pursuant to Chapter 8, Section 7G of the Charter for the Town of Monroe, that the first selectman is hereby authorized to transfer funds from the HR wage adjustments account in an amount not to exceed the appropriation of $595,133 as approved in the fiscal year 2026 annual town budget, and that these transfers are necessary to effectuate retroactive and prospective salary adjustments, A, pursuant to certain collective bargaining agreements as authorized and approved by the town council, and B, as determined by the first selectman for certain unaffiliated employees.
Okay, second,
Second.
Rebecca O'Donnell.
okay, I'm gonna give it to Mark. Sorry, I know.
Sorry.
O'Donnell,
Mark spoke
O'Donnell.
very soft.
I was trying to clear my throat.
Okay. Any discussion? Ron, you wanna just go over with this?
So this was approved by council at their August 11th meeting. And you know, this is Heidi would like to get this money transferred as soon as possible because it gives a better comparative budget for the budget year over year. If that makes sense. So the sooner she can push out the wage adjustment, the funds, the better for comparative
Yeah,
purposes.
and it passed unanimously at council.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. And new business item B, resolution to approve the purchase of a field striper machine from the Field Assessment Fund.
Madam Vice Chair, I'll offer the resolution resolved that pursuant to the expenditure procedure of the Wolf Park Field Usage Assessment Donation Fund as established by Town Council February 9th, 2009, the Board of Finance hereby approves the purchase of a robotic field striping machine in an amount not to exceed $60,000.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second
Okay. Any discussion?
it.
Bill, hi.
Yes, hi. So this machine, we actually saw a demonstration today and it impressed me greatly. So what it does is it works on an iPad and the field is laid out on the iPad, and if it's fits everything, which there was a little problem with the field that was laid out up at Great Hollow Lake field, the soccer field. This laid out a 330 by 120 field with all the lines, soccer field in 25 minutes. So this basically cuts down paint usage by 50% and manpower hours by 70% to do this.
So what tells it where to go? Is it GPS?
It's GPS controlled.
Okay,
You set the machine down at a corner that's laid out on the iPad and press start. Now, the beautiful thing about this machine is the iPad stores every field that the town has. So if we wanted to go back next week and lay this same field out or restripe it or freshen up the lines, goes back, you go to soccer field 1, Great Hollow Lake, it comes up, you put the robotic striper down and off it goes. Exactly within a quarter of an inch.
now who has built the iPad dimensions and points and all that kind of stuff? The company comes.
Tiny Mobile,
They come in and do that
it gives, no, it's there already. It gives you that. So what it does is you lay out the field, you go in there, there's a certain way to do it. I can't exactly explain, but you have new fields and you have existing fields that are already in there. So let's say you want to do a professional soccer field. The dimensions are in there already. You hit professional soccer field or an 11V by 11V, whatever they call them. I'm not a soccer player. So then that gives you the dimensions on your
So this is
GPS. Look right
something,
down.
this is something the town already has, this data.
No, they have it.
It's
Goes by
it's like a
GPS.
regulation. Well, it's also the lines, aren't they regulation?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So you have, like I said, take a professional soccer field. 120 by 330.
Mm-hmm.
Now the machine, the iPad already knows this, it's in there, that's what these fields are. So you press professional soccer field, it comes up, you see a GIS picture of your field. It's like, any other, like, what's the word, they use now, satellite picture.
Mhm.
So it shows you a satellite picture of it, and it puts the field outlined right in there. So you can move it around to where you want, and once you say, that's it, you lock it in, put this machine down on it, the corner. It shows on the iPad where the machine is, because this has, if you look at it, that's the satellite right there that it picks up, and off it goes. And Dee Dee Martin was out there today and she couldn't believe it. She was like, wow.
No,
This
it's
is
cool. I
impressive.
just wondered who did it. So the company has the dimensions.
It has
Because if
dimensions.
they just walked up, my thinking is, okay, they've never been on our field. Yes, they might know what a professional line field is, but maybe they've never set foot in the town of Monroe. Where did they get the data for, field?
Is it from the
numbers?
GIS? Do they link to that, or is it like, they probably have ESFRI
They probably-
licensing and everything?
Yeah, they have everything in there
Yeah.
ready. So, because when he came out, he brought up the, he brought up the field right there. He was able to look at it.
That's cool.
And then they went back, actually they went back to 2017 and looked at the lines that were there. And they went like, okay, this is here, we can't have this here. So they were able to shift it a little bit,
Mhm.
that it actually didn't fall into the infield of the baseball diamond that's there. And
That's great.
it went, okay, and the amazing thing is now our people go out there and they lay these out and they do the best they can with it and they pull lines and everything. This thing went boom, and it actually, you could see how it was good, close, but it was off about 4 feet on the line with the diagonal, not the diagonal, with the 90-degree angle from the corner to where it went to the next corner. This thing picked right up on it. It was perfect.
So who's gonna be
I was
responsible?
gonna say about training, yeah, do they train?
They
staff?
train you, they come
Yeah,
out and train
how many
you.
staff members are they gonna train, you think? You have any-
Probably 3.
Yeah,
I have 3 trained. It'll be our crew, our parks crew leader, Madison Canalori. It'll be Brian Crouch and probably Jack Eck.
And I have a question actually. Oh, 2.
Yes.
First, well, it sounds really cool. But how long does it take for one of your people in your crew to do striping for like that field, like manually? And then the
For
second
this
question
field?
is,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
And then the second question is, the cost that you're quoting, does that include maintenance for the device, or is it just the cost for the device and the training?
No, that's for 6 years of maintenance. And that
Okay.
maintenance includes, at the end of the season in the winter, we send this back to the company. They do a whole, well,
Tear down.
they'll basically, yes, that's exactly the word he used, the tear down. They'll put new,
Track.
yeah, everything on it will be new. And if, the nice thing about it, that's for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is, if this for some reason, which he says hardly ever happens, but you know, a salesman says a lot of things. But if this does break down and they come out and try to repair it and they can't, they have a brand new robotic striper in the truck with them that they will give us to use, take that one back. And until we fix it, well, they'll fix it, repair it.
So this purchase
With-
is like a
is that-
package.
Yes, it has 6 years worth of program, what they call program, but that's PM maintenance and everything else. And at any given time, we have tech support, of course, 24/7.
No additional charge.
At no additional charge.
Okay, and this 55,000 is 6-year total, not 1 year
No,
times
that's
6.
6 year total,
Okay,
6 year total.
Bill, I have a couple questions.
Sure.
When you met with the company today, did they test the satellite strength on our fields to be sure it'll work? Because I know some of the fields on Wolf Park are, you know, heavy with trees all around and all of that. It won't get stuck if it can't read the satellite.
No, he said that he didn't test signal strength, but there was no pausing, there was no downtime, there was nothing. He came up, he went there, pulled out his iPad, programmed it, did a few adjustments to the field itself, and it went. And in 25.3 minutes, it was done with the soccer field,
Okay.
everything.
Okay. I just want to be sure it's going to work. So that's good. Okay. And then you mentioned that there was tech support and service included in the contract. Can you foresee anything else being needed that needs to be negotiated as far as service ahead of time? Is there something that's not covered?
Not that I could see. I thought they covered everything pretty well.
And then just,
Okay. And
sorry.
then,
it doesn't look like they cover material, paint.
Right.
Oh, no, paint wise is up to us, but we buy this paint anyway. The paint that this machine uses from Pioneer, we buy anyway.
Okay.
okay. Well, that was going to be one of my other questions. So do you have to buy their product for this machinery, or can you use other product if by chance you have some? I don't know.
You can use other product, you just have to, so in other words, there's a viscosity rating on each one of these paints. Some are thicker, some are, so we would have to use a water-based paint and water it down to the viscosity, which is, it's an easy way. There's a tool that you use to figure out the viscosity on it. And once it's right, yeah, you can put it in. It doesn't have to be Pioneer. It just happens that Pioneer is the brand that they like and use and seems to give them the best, product.
And you're saying we were using it anyway.
And we use it anyway, yes. But if we wanted to
Okay.
change for some reason, we could.
Okay. And then is there for the iPad in the, on the tech side, is there an annual subscription that they charge in addition to the purchase, or will your budget be unchanged going into other fiscal years?
They said nothing about that. It was all part of the package that, the program package. And I believe, moving forward after the program, I would have to ask that question to be 100% sure. But nothing was mentioned about that. It's an iPad, programmed and it goes right to the machine, and that's basically it, to the GIS.
So this is a
Okay.
one, oh, sorry, Rebecca, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Nope, go ahead.
This is a
I just have one more
one-time
question
fee?
once you're done.
Yes,
Okay,
one time.
okay, and it's So there's no budget for it, so it's not coming out of a specific fiscal year, or it's coming out of fiscal year 26?
So it's in a non-lapsing fund. This field assessment fund is
Okay.
where Parks and Rec collects fees from organizations that use the fields.
Mhm.
That was established back in 2009. And the current fund balance, this would deplete it down, it's got about 63,000 of available fund balance.
Mhm.
I think the resolution was an amount not to exceed 60. I think the quote's at 55.
Mhm.
So it leaves us a little cushion, but not a lot in the fund. But
Okay.
this is a perfect use for why the fund was established back then.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Rebecca, I believe the Parks and Rec Commission voted and approved this on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they had a special meeting this week, yeah.
Yeah.
My only other question to Bill is, are there other brands on the market that you were looking at and then you've kind of narrowed in on this one? Or what was the
Well,
process in finding this
I
one?
actually, along with the first selectman, we approached Chief Howe. He's the Stevenson Fire Chief, who also moonlights as Director of Maintenance in Wilton. They have bought this and they use this same one. And to be quite honest, I did look at a few, but Chief Howe also reiterated to me the same thing that I found. He said, this is probably the best one out there. He had his doubts in the very beginning, and this is not new, but it's fairly new to him. It's very new to us. And he said that he was so impressed by it and what it was able to do. He actually tried to buy one for himself, and he was going to go out and rent himself out to different municipalities to do this for them. And with this exact one, and they told him, no, we really don't want you buying one of these and stealing our business. Because if you think about it, 10 municipalities he can do, that's 10 machines they don't sell. So I basically, this seems to be the best one on the market. I have, read information about Tough Tank and this and that, and this seems to be the best.
Okay. As far as the price point and the number of years, do they contract in any other way? Like, I'm just wondering, like, why 6 years? And is that like an option to do it on a yearly basis, or what's the flexibility there?
I asked about the leasing, and it's a lease to buy. So what he says is, if municipality doesn't have the funds right up front, to buy the unit full out, you could do it, and they will break it down to 6 years. But we don't really do that.
Okay.
Unless you want to, but I mean, I have not yet known that to happen here. But that was what they said about the lease to buy. It's a lease to buy.
Okay. And this will be stored at Wolf Park?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's it from me. Thank you very much.
So one other thing, if I may, so the price now falls into a little bit of a I don't want to say problem, but these they belong to a consortium, and it's called TIPS, and it's a set price, of course, for municipalities. But we have to look, Ron and I have to look in to see whether or not we are a member of this. We are a member of Sourcewell, which we've used before, and it's very good. But this is just a little different, and the salesman said this, not me. This is a big New York thing. New York, all the state cities and towns and everything in New York use TIPS. So we have to look into it and see. I think it falls into it. He said he didn't see a problem with it. There were a few towns in Connecticut that do use it, but we just have to look on to what it's going to be to join it. And that's the only thing about the pricing. It is over our procurement. We would have to go out to a full-blown advertised bid if that doesn't work out. That's the only downside I saw to all of it.
Yeah, but all we're doing is giving you the authorization to go do it.
Oh, no, I'm just saying downside,
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah.
No,
We'll have to look to make sure
Right,
yeah.
if we can pick, if we can use the consortium bid. And, you know,
Right.
they're happy with the choice, I think, you know.
So
Although
should
that-
we do a subject to being able to use the consortium?
I don't. think
Well,
so.
if we can't use the consortium bid, we would have to put it out to bid.
Okay,
That's-
Mhm.
all right. So we're, okay, all right.
So we're covered. Yeah.
Or get the price point down below $50,000.
Yeah, so Rebecca, going back to your first question about what's included, we're looking at a document that Bill brought that lists everything that's in this package.
Mhm.
The robot, 6 years, all-inclusive subscription, technical online support, 6 years, all-inclusive warranty, 6 years, all-inclusive winter service, two-way shipping, installation, configuration and training fee, battery, handle, battery charger and power cord, US 6 years, all-inclusive maintenance kit, 6 years, all-inclusive nozzle and filter kit. And because it's an all-inclusive package, there's a package discount, so. When you ask about
Okay.
subscriptions or whatever, all of those things are in here. The only other thought that I'm now having is maybe we, if somebody wants, we can include this document in the minutes. If anybody thinks it's necessary, but again, just wanted to sort of answer your thought.
I think this document is I mean,
It's
Is it
meeting
contractual?
material.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't think at this point.
Withdraw my comment.
Cause there's a chance we may not use them, or may have to go out and find a means to, you know, procure it
Okay.
if we can't piggyback the bid.
Right.
And that could be used, I get, okay.
No,
Okay, so, and just to kind of bounce off what Steve was saying, the one-time subtotal is 78,000. The all-inclusive package discount is 23,000, leaving us with a total of 55,000 to buy it over 6 years. The lease to own is $11,250 per year, which includes all of this, just lease to own.
That would be at the end to
Right.
buy it out at the end of that 6 years.
Right. So
Okay.
that's that. I had a question. Is this going to be used exclusively for town fields?
So there was
Ron, take that.
well, there was a conversation that I had with Bill, and I think this year, yes. I think to set up like the soccer field at the high school, during, you know, in the fall, it probably would make sense to have, you know, like we're having, who's gonna come wax the floors tomorrow?
Some company, I don't know, they're called Board of Ed, I believe.
Board of Education's coming to wax the floors at town hall, so we, you know, we have, you know, we try to utilize services when,
Mhm.
you know, they happen to have all the floor waxing and buffing machines that we don't have here. If we had that, and I think once we got up and going, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, we would want to get to that point. before we-
Absolutely. I mean, we have a good working relationship with the Board of Ed. Public Works and the Board of Ed work very well together. Dan Croftsick and myself are always in contact with different things, and any way I can help them, we do, and any way he can help me, we do.
And the reality is a lot of the fields at the schools are utilized by the soccer programs in town. There's one in the, you know, back of Chalk Hill, there's a couple over at Monroe Elementary, there's one at the high school in the upper field, so I think that would make sense once we got to that point.
Mhm.
But I don't see that being this fall, that would probably be a little.
I think that they'll probably be already done this fall. They'll have it striped
Right.
or lined already. So, I mean, but listen, like I said, once we get very proficient in this, we have no problem going over and helping out whoever needs to be done. I have no issues with
and
that.
this looks extremely portable, so there's.
Oh, it's very light. It's amazing. Without the paint in it, it's very light. Cause it holds 5 gallons of paint, and 5 gallons, it took a gallon to do the soccer field, which is amazing.
So basically, you turn it loose, you could get all the fields of Wolf Park.
Oh,
done in
that was the other,
days.
that was the other thing. So up at Great Hollow, there's lacrosse field, the big soccer field, and a smaller soccer field. So with this unit, you could program the 3 fields in and say, go. And once it finishes one field, it just finds itself over to the other field and does it, and then finds itself to the 3rd field and does that. You don't have to stand there and reprogram every field.
But what if there's an issue with it? Like, is there someone going to be near the machine? It sounds like it's pretty autonomous, but what if?
A bear comes out of the woods and grabs it.
Well, I mean, what if it hits something and gets knocked
Yeah.
off course?
The GIS brings it right back to it.
Okay,
There is so the person that has the iPad with them, there, when it goes low to paint, I believe he said when there's a half a gallon of paint left, it gives a warning. There is that's not hugely loud, but there is a little beeper on the machine itself that beeps when it's low, so you can kind of hear it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think somebody.
But
is
you won't
always
be
gonna
leaving it unattended though, right?
No, that, I was just gonna say, somebody will always be in close proximity. So if he's weed whacking or anything, he'll always be watching, because that was something that was brought up today by one of our employees, and he said, you know, we just can't leave this thing go out there because things could happen. And I don't mean natural
It
things
should be
like,
monitored.
yes, it should be monitored, it will be, it'll be watched to make sure, you know, somebody doesn't come up, pick it up and run away with it.
Well,
Let's
that's
face
what I
it.
was
Yeah,
just thinking,
yes.
somebody with sticky fingers coming up and, it's light, so.
Absolutely, absolutely, that's already been worked into the whole thing, we spoke about it.
Okay.
It'll never be left out there by itself with nobody around. There'll always be somebody doing something else. There's a million things that they can do.
Straight lines and even distribution. On the paint, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Having human error,
The amazing thing is, he said that this will come back, so let's say, like I said, it'll go out within a quarter of an inch of the line and put down the first time. I think that's pretty good, a quarter of an inch. That's right there, it's gonna do the same one.
Yeah.
I have a question as a follow-up to what we were just saying. What's the range on how far the iPad can get away from the machine? Are there tracking features if someone does steal it?
I don't know that. I could, happy to
Get
ask
like
you,
a
but
really long chain and strap it to the building, so it.
I
goes
think
up?
that,
Electrical shock when somebody touches it.
Right.
I think that, you know, like I said, we were down in the parking lot and Matt, the salesman, was walking it up the path.
Mhm.
And it went all the way to the top of the path. So, I mean, it has a range, there's no question. I don't know that answer though. I would have to find that out what the range is. Then he's gonna say, well, why do you wanna know that? You're not leaving it alone, are you?
Yeah, it should be an eye shot of somebody.
Well, it's not, it's gotta be.
Or stick an
cellular-
air
it's
tag
gotta be
to it.
Cellular communication, right? It's not Wi-Fi, because in the middle of the field, you may never have Wi-Fi, so it's gotta be cellular communication.
I think
If there
that's
isn't,
probably that
Yeah.
coverage is probably in the package.
It'll be fun to read that, yeah.
Like you said, just.
This
Well,
is
and that's why I was asking about the satellite strength, just to be
Yeah.
sure with all the tree and the forestry and all that, that we wouldn't have an issue. But I trust that, if it
Mhm.
works, and if it doesn't, we could get out of it.
Oh, yeah, I'll find that out before we purchase it, you know, what that is, if they come out and test or whatever it is, but he didn't seem to be very concerned about that.
That's cool. All right, I've got all my questions answered.
Okay,
Call the question.
any other questions? No? All
I
right.
just have a comment. This is Nick. I've done 20 years of commercial equipment financing, and leasing 99% of the time is more expensive than just purchasing outright. So I suggest we don't even consider leasing as the machine.
Mm-hmm. I think the option here that you're thinking of going with is the purchase. Yes.
Yes,
So they're looking at the purchase option and we are authorizing the funds to be used.
Sounds good.
And we do say purchase of.
Yes.
The motion did say purchase of.
Okay, all right. There's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous.
And actually, I actually have to head out. I wanted to make sure that I was able to vote for this. So thank you. But I'm sure you're wrapping up now, but I do have to jump. So thank you all, and I'll see you all at the next meeting.
Okay,
you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now new business, item C, Public Works Road Update. Bill Phillips, you have 3 minutes as promised.
Okay, so first of all, this is a follow-up to just say, as I was speaking with Mr. Rooney today. He just wanted me to bring you guys up to speed on the purchase of the paver and roller that you guys gave us last year and granted. And so far this year, we have paved Elm Street, Cross Hill to Route 111, West Maiden by Jockey Hollow, Bridge Road, Heather Road, Academy, Cottage Street at the corner before Downs Road, Wheeler Road, random sections, Hillside Avenue, we're in progress right now. And we are prepping Todd Drive on the other side of the culvert that's gonna be replaced. And we're paving that. Amazing.
The coverage is like.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I can't thank you guys enough for giving us the tools to work with. The guys are ecstatic. They're out there. I just can't say enough. They've done amazing work. And if you take a ride on Wheeler, take a ride on Elm Street in front of
Really good.
AS, right? AS, not AS, AS. Where the old, well, you guys.
Oh, A&S Deli there.
A&S Deli.
Yeah.
And the drainage we've done is Boot Shop, Winthrop, Bob White, Beaver Circle, Gerardo, Whitewood, Countryside, Admiral, Winslow, Stony Brook, and we're partially done with High Ridge. And these are the ones that Cochiola, our big paver, is gonna come in and take care of, because we've done the drainage on these.
Right.
So what we do is we take care of the stuff that needs to be done immediately, and Cochiola comes in and does the long-term stuff. And it's working out amazing. I can't say thank you enough, really.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
seriously.
fantastic.
Thanks to work with.
So I have two questions.
I knew you would. Yes,
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 I have to ask two things.
yes, that's okay.
Number one, when you're doing a section, are you doing it to a road that's only in a certain condition, after which it's, you're doing the better of the bad roads as opposed to Coachella?
No, we're doing the roads that need to be taken care of. That can't wait for us to do the drainage on. Drainage is a big undertaking,
Right.
so we do those roads. So we're not doing the drainage on the roads. We are paving in-house. We're making it rideable. Safety of the traveling public. People are saying there's potholes out there. People are saying there's ruts out there. They can't take this and that. We take care of that. Much like the north end of Wheeler Road was really bad. Well, we weren't gonna be able to get to that to do the drainage because we have other stuff. It went bad in 2 years. So we went out there now there's 5 years we could probably get before we have to worry about it.
That was sort of second question, number two. These are just overlays, right? You're not.
They're overlays all.
These are all
They're just overlays.
Just overlays.
Yep.
Because you're not doing any stripping of the top layer
No.
or anything. Okay.
No, we're just overlaying the road, so it's rideable. The rideability of the road
Yep.
is improved 100%. And
we get
Yeah.
about 5 years.
And you'll get about 5 years out. By that time, we'll be able to come in there and take care of the drainage and do what we have to do. Now, you gotta understand a lot of these roads too. People are like, well, why aren't you milling them? Well, we're not milling them because there's not enough road to mill.
Yeah.
There's not enough road to
Not thick
mill.
enough,
Yeah, we go down, an inch and a half and we're hitting stone.
Mhm.
So that's the other reason.
Some point we rebuild from the base.
2 point something. What?
That was good.
And again, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I,
Thank you.
Nick, I live off the hillside, and I just passed the machine a little while ago, and yeah, the road's looking 100% better, and the machines are doing a great job. So I'm all for it.
Thank you, Nick.
I mean, when I drove up last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, Fan Hill and West Maiden, the intersection, you know, where that was, you turned and it was all destroyed, and you know, that was smooth. Oh my God, they got in here and did this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference. Yeah, it does.
That's really awesome. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Motion to adjourn,
So moved.
second?
I'll second it.
All righty, everyone have a great night.